Hey guys, it's Damien. I'm back from the Brittle Box Candy Company. I've got another video tonight I'm going to be doing about selling online. A real quick rundown. I've been online for several years now. I own a candy company. I've been selling through the platforms of Etsy, Amazon, eBay, and pretty much you name it, we sell on there. So really quick, we've been doing this for quite some time now. We've had a lot of great success. It's taken a lot of effort. This didn't happen overnight. And if you are starting to sell online, this is definitely something that will not happen in a couple of months or a couple of weeks. It's taken a few years to get to where we are now. Pretty much like any business, if you have a retail store or a brick and mortar store, you're not online, you know the challenges that it takes to starting a business from nothing and growing it. So I've got seven ways to promote your business online, and I'm going to give you the ones that we use. That's helped us get a tremendous amount of exposure. That cost $0, literally cost nothing to do, but has brought us a lot of business. The only investment is your time, and to be honest with you, if you're not willing to put the time in to open a business, start it, and be patient with it growing, if you don't want to put the time in, don't even bother starting a business, is what I would tell you straight up. It would be a waste of your time. Once you find something that you really enjoy doing, excuse me, and you make a product or you make something, a service of some kind or a product of some kind, and you want to sell it to the world, I'm going to tell you that the internet has just been phenomenal. Our business, we used to own a brick and mortar bakery, and at that time we kind of really much relied a lot on the traffic coming through the front door, and our presence online wasn't as big as it is now. But now I'd say 99% of what we do is pretty much online. Our facility, we make our products and we ship it directly to the customer, and it's been fantastic. So let me get started with this. If you don't have a blog, I would definitely recommend blogging. Is something that's relatively new for us. We started a blog on blogger.com, which is by Google. What I love about blogger.com is the fact that there's a lot of features already built into the blog itself. You can get set up with AdSense and begin to actually make money from the views and the traffic that you get to your blog. But the most important thing, something I learned firsthand myself, the most important part of the blog is the content. Everybody tells you that. You could probably hear it 100 times a day if you went online and you were looking into what it would take to operate a successful blog. You have to have great content. If you're operating a blog and you want to get exposure for a product, what you might want to look into doing is expanding what you talk about and what you discuss on your blog, that would have some type of reference to the product that you make. For instance, if you have a business where you're reselling auto parts and you know all about auto parts and you know about cars, vehicles, repairing them, you create a blog based on what you could do to do-it-yourself type of situation, and then tie into that the products that you sell, if you happen to sell those types of products, how to fix a flat tire, how to do a home oil change, any of those types of things that you would have that you could associate with a product, which could be used in any type of product or service. For instance, ours being candy and food, edible items. Our blog is all about candy, about sweets, about the different types of cakes you can make, sugars, different things you can do with sugar to create different candies. And then what we do is we tie into it our websites, our selling platforms like our Etsy store, our Amazon shop, and so on. So the idea would be to coordinate into your blog the types of products that you make. If you're selling online, if you're on Etsy, if you're on these different platforms, it's great to tie them into that. And then you can either bring a link to a product or a link to your shop. It's great exposure. The reason why I say blogger is that just within a matter of a couple of days, we had over 200. It wasn't exactly 1 million hits, but it was over 200 hits on our blog because people were searching through Google for the type of stuff that we discuss in our blog, and that brings 200 additional customers to our shop. It brings 200 additional customers that we didn't have before the blog. So it's definitely worth your time. And again, these things are free. They don't cost anything to create or start, but just your time. The next one I like, and I've talked about this a lot in my other videos, is Pinterest. Pinterest has roughly about 250 million registered users. Of course, not all of those users will be interested in the product that you're making, but it's a great way to get exposure. And if you have a line of products, or if you have a multitude of different types of products that you sell, Pinterest is a great place to get an opportunity to be seen by millions of people. There may not be 250 million people interested in your specific product or service, but there's probably several million. And by creating an account and pinning your products from your different stores, the beautiful thing about like Amazon, eBay, Bonanza, all of these different platforms have the social media buttons built into the product link. So once you've created a product within Amazon, and if you look at your listing when you're done in the upper right-hand corner, if you look up to the right-hand corner side, you will actually see all of the social media links, the buttons, that you can instantaneously put those onto your accounts. If you have a Facebook account, if you have Pinterest, Tumblr, whatever it may be, you have access to those social media buttons, and then within an instant, you've got exposure to a lot of customers that you may not have had before. The other great thing I discussed in a little bit of detail in my other videos was the Google+. We had recently created a Google+ page. If you go to Google and just Google Google+, you can create a Google+ page for yourself, and you can create one either for your business or the product or your personal use. But our business page, within a matter of, I think now it's been about 4 months. We started about 4 months ago. We're approaching about 40,000 views in a matter of 4 months that I personally have not gone out and tried to get those views or get people to come to our Google Plus page. I simply created the page, put some information in there about who you are, what you do, your business, etc., etc. Post some photos, create some links, add some products on there, and then just what I try to do every day, and I recommend this if your business is solely online. It won't hurt if you have a store, a retail store, a storefront. But if you're online, I would recommend every single day, at least an hour, maybe not necessarily an hour block of time, just sit down for 1 hour in the chair and do this. But throughout the day, about an hour worth of your day to update, interact, add, basically be on your social media page, whatever it may be, for at least an hour a day. That investment has created tremendous returns for us as far as visibility and excuse me, visibility and people to recognize what we do, our brand. If you happen to have a service and you're not doing a product, you can still do the same thing. If you're into writing ebooks, all of these social media outlets are great ways to get exposure for your ebook. If you're doing additional blogs, you can also include your blogs and your blog posts on that Google Plus page. And again, I had spoke briefly about it before, but there are these they're called communities within Google Plus for people with certain interests. And if you have a product or service that is of their interest, get yourself into those communities and start posting your product. It's amazing how fast you get interactions and actually additional sales from just posting to those social media links. So definitely something to think about and look into. I'm going to do about 3 or 4 other videos tonight. This one really quick about some of the ways that we actually operate online to get additional exposure for our products. So I do hope that this helps. If you have any questions or if there's anything that you think you want to ask me or comment, please let me know, and subscribe to our channel, because I'll also have a handful of our how-to videos. We're actually going to demonstrate some of the ways that we make some of the candy that we do, which may be helpful to you, and you can use that. So thank you guys.